let's take the first major event of a storyline that we call the inciting incident. This scene is probably, in most cases, it's going to be shown. It's going to be on screen or in performance, on page, in a novel. It's going to happen in front of the reader or the theater audience or film or television audience. And it's the event that, as we say, radically upsets the balance of life for the protagonist. On the other hand, there are stories in which this inciting incident is put in the backstory and it is revealed at some point in the telling. And there may be very good reasons for concealing the inciting incident. The famous example that I give is the wonderful Brazilian film Kiss of the Spider Woman, where the inciting incident is finally not revealed until halfway, an hour into the film. And for reasons of empathy, that was kept in the backstory and finally brought in exposition halfway through the movie. And it had to be that way, and the writer made the right choice. And so the inciting incident generally needs to be in performance, but not in every case. The crisis, decision, and the climactic action, now looking at the end of the story, the character, the protagonist, reaches a certain point where they have exhausted every possible action they can take in an effort to put their life back into balance, save one last action, and they have to make a choice then as to which of possible actions to take. That becomes the crisis. They make that decision. They take the action, and that action becomes the climax. And generally speaking, the crisis, decision, and climactic action will be in performance on page, screen, or stage in front of the audience or the reader, right? But not necessarily. There are certain open-ended stories where a possible crisis and climax is left hanging in the air for the audience to decide on after the viewing. I saw a very nice Israeli film recently called Footnote, and it brings us right up to the crisis, and but it's not. It then ends with an open ending, and we don't know for sure whether the protagonist decided to do this or that, and if the protagonist chose to do this or that, what was the climactic action as a result. And you, as the audience of this film, have to write the ending in your own head. It's a kind of choose your own ending film, and I thought it was terrific. And I thought that I knew exactly what the character would choose and what would happen, but I was with friends and they thought, no, he might not do that. And they had another ending, and fine. It was their ending. They wrote it. And this is rare, I must say, but it was handled so well in a Footnote that I really enjoyed that open ending a lot. And it caused some really interesting conversation over dinner after the film. So there are certain events, like inciting incidents, crisis and climax, that 99% of the time they will be in performance in front of the reader audience, but not necessarily. And there are reasons in certain stories why these things may be put off screen or in the backstory. And there's no reason why they can't be if they serve to express and create an experience that the writer wants, that is really effective and would be somehow damaged or lost worthy of these events in performance. So there's nothing necessary. You don't have to do anything, but you need good reasons why you, or if you, break the classical form to put something more important in its place. And in every case, I can think of many films in which that form was broken and successfully something else was put there that was satisfying in its own way.